All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahawah Kadash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching His word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And this is brother Gabar YAHAWADAH from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another live lesson, well, another tape lesson. And today's lesson is on this movie that's about to come out, I guess, about Fred Hampton, who was a Black Panther Party leader in the 70s. You know, because during the time of the 70s, when you had a lot of these so-called revolutionary groups set up, which even though the CIA pretty much had a hand in even building the so-called Black Panther Party up, you had a lot of Jakes, sincere Jakes that was a part of it, thinking that they were going to commit some type of change to their condition here in America. And I believe Fred Hampton was one of those dudes that was sincere, you know, and Esau took him out. And how did Esau take him out? He used subtlety. I guess this movie shows, you know, they caught a Jake that was in trouble with the law. And Esau basically gave him a pass so that he can infiltrate this so-called Black Panther Party. And it just shows you the wiles of the devil. Real quick, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Satan, meaning the adversary, you Edomites, starting out with you ruling elite Edomites, we're not ignorant to your devices, to your tricks, okay, to your plans, your schemes, you know, the things that you do. When you look up that word for devices in the Greek,
Strong's G 3540, Naima.
right, and that word means a mental perception or thought or evil purpose, that which thinks the mind, thoughts, and purpose. So these devils have an evil purpose. We're not ignorant of Esau's evil purposes, and it's all spiritual that he's trying to bring this kind of movie out at this particular junction when you got a lot of Jakes all excited and that rebellious spirit, you know, which all of these groups that they got going on out here, they're set up. And we even got agents amongst the Israelite community, you know, the so-called Israelite community. We got people that's set up by the government that infiltrated all of these camps, including our own. You know, we don't know who they are, but we know that Yahweh Shai will sift them out, because see, this thing that we're part of, this is not the Black Panther Party. This is not no black militant group. I don't care what Esau tried to say. This is Salaki. Just bear with me. This is what is going on here, bro? Yeah. This is 1 Corinthians 4:9. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. This is 1 Corinthians 4:9. It says, "For I think that the Most High, the Heavenly Father, have set forth us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men." Right, so you have all these different groups popping up back in the day, whether they were so-called Negro groups, so-called Latino groups, so-called Native American groups popping up. But what did they do for the people in this country regarding Israel? They didn't do anything. You know, they basically came in and what? Stirred Jake up. Jake was excited, and then Jake got jobs and calmed down. Stirred Jake up some more. Jake got excited. Then they got placated some more, and they calmed down. And none of these groups were fruitful. None of these groups were successful in redeeming the children of Israel from the devil's hand, man. Because again, these groups, Black Panther Party, a whole bunch of parties, man, all these different organizations that they pop up that you think that got you, even Black Lives Matter, another group that was sponsored and paid for by the super elite. And this movie, Judas and a Black Messiah, which I'm not sure when it's supposed to come out, but again, this, you got to understand what period we're in, what time we're in, and then you got to ask yourself, why now? Why would the Edomites, the same man that killed Fred Hampton, you know, that killed this man in his underwear in his bedroom with his woman, I think his wife was pregnant at the time. Now they decide to make a movie about this guy, man. You see? So this is all trickery, hickory, dock. You know what I'm saying? And this was Fred Hampton, a real Fred Hampton right here, you know? And like I said, he was like a sincere leader. So a lot of these, well, not a lot of them, but these government agencies, they wanted to get him up out the way. They didn't want him here. And this was the murder scene where the cops bust in and just laid, you know, basically blew that nigga away. You know, which it was really YAHAWADAH that got rid of this dude because he wasn't behind this. So you got people that's a part of these groups that might be sincere, but they're not sincere in truth. You know, they don't have the truth. Fred Hampton, he didn't have the truth, you know, but he was reflecting what Jake was going through at that particular time period. And really not much of nothing's changed. You still got police brutality all over the place. And it's the so-called Black Panther Party is not even a shadow of what it once used to be, you know, because Esau got all up in there. It was supposed to be a grassroots organization, and then all the leaders were bought and paid for, you know, and then they got the sincere ones, and then Esau creates these groups to sift out the sincere leaders of amongst our people, man. Because like J. Edgar Hoover said, I had this posted up. He says there will never be another Black Messiah unless we create him. And then you got to ask yourself, when was there ever a Black Messiah, a so-called Black Messiah? Yahawashi, man. Which this devil, the so-called white man, he knows that Yahawashi is a so-called black man. And he's carnal. This nigga, which he know, the super elite know how Yahawashi is coming back, standing on a chariot with the multitude of angels, man. But this devil, the carnal side of Esau, he can't help but try to destroy the men of Israel, man. Just like the ancient Pharaoh did. Just like the ancient Pharaoh did. You know, a lot of our people, they herald Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but these niggas were bought and paid for. You know, why once again, you got to ask yourself, for all the stuff that Martin Luther King supposedly did, why is he the only one out of all the so-called Negro leaders that this devil basically elevates after his death, man? Because they saw how much Jake believed in it, and they know that the house of Judah is going to rise first. Let me get that real quick. This is Genesis. Salaki. I think it's Isaiah. Hold on. This is Zechariah 12 and 7. Zechariah 12 and 7. It says, the Lord shall save the tents of Judah first. Who is Judah? The so-called Negro, so-called African American here in North America. It says, the Lord, YAHAWADAH, also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Okay? And in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, and the angel of the Lord, YAHAWADAH, before them. So this devil, he knows that amongst our people, the elect exist. And he knows that they're men. And this is another reason why this can go into a myriad of different things, like how Esau effeminized the so-called Negro male here in America. how Esau dumbs the so-called and weakens the so-called Negro man here in America, and as well as the rest of the tribes too. But he chiefly focuses on the so-called Negro here in America, man. Why? Because he knows that the tents of Judah is going to rise first. So this devil, J. Edgar Hoover, he says there will never be another. And a lot of Jake don't get that. They don't even read that another. Well, when, like I said, when was the first one? Yahawashah. There will never be another black Messiah unless we create him. So we know that these, like, what's that nigga name? Military Morpheus, that dude with the glasses, DJ or Grandmaster DJ, whatever that nigga name is. That nigga's bought and paid for it, man. All your leaders of all the so-called political leaders of our people and so-called grassroots leaders of the people here in America, they're all bought and paid for it. And a lot of Jake fall for it. You see, they kill the sincere ones. They make movies about them. And then you go to the movies and you look at it, you're supposed to come out there with that Black Panther. And it's just Esau using the same shit that he always used. He's trying to stir up Jake with this bullshit Black Panther shit, so you can apply it to what's going on now. But the Black Panther Party, that shit is null and void, man. And it says, this is Isaiah, I'm sorry, 2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, right? Because you got, like I said, you got agents amongst Israel, man. Like, just keeping it 100. You got agents amongst Israel, but they're not going to be able to stop this truth. Esau, you're not going to be able to stop this truth. You take the videos down, you can turn the internet off, you can do whatever it is you feel like you need to do, but ultimately you're going to lose because Yahawah already got it set in stone. It's already written. All we doing is just playing it out. And so whatever you try to do to come up against it is going to further the truth. Somebody else going to watch and they're going to see, like, they're going to look it up, the Israelites, and they're going to look some more up, and they're going to look some more up, and then that's how the elect gets woken up. You see? So you can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. This is, because what Esau is trying to do, he's trying to extend his kingdom. He's trying to extend his rule, man. And he's trying to get Jake into that 1970s spirit, that black power demon, which we're not black. And all of this goes back, remember, when us not being ignorant to his devices, all that goes back to things like Project Megiddo, where it says Project Megiddo was a report researched and written by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, under Director Louis Freeh. It says released on October 20th, 1999. And you see Louis Freeh as a demon, a devil, okay? Released October 20th, 1999. The report named the followers of white supremacy, Christian identity, and militia movement, Black Hebrew Israelites, and apocalyptic cults as potential terrorists who might become violent in reaction into the new millennium, which that new millennium is that new world order. Okay? And it says for over 4,000 years, Megiddo, a hill in the northern Israel, has been the site of many battles. Ancient cities were established. They are served as a fortress on the plain of Jezreel to guard the mountain pass. As Megiddo was built and rebuilt, one city upon the other, a mound hill was formed. The Hebrew word Armageddon means the hill of Megiddo, which really means mountain of truths. It says the word has come to represent battle itself. The last book of the New Testament, which is the book of Revelations of the Bible, designate Armageddon as an assembly point, which is not talking about that. Okay, it's talking about in the Middle East where they're gonna have all these troops at, man, fighting. And it says as assembly point in the apocalyptic setting of God's final and conclusive battle against evil. And who is the evil? The so-called white man. The name Megiddo is an apt title for the project that analyzes those who believe the year 2000 will usher in the world and who are willing to perpetuate acts of violence to bring an end about, which we don't here at Great Millstone, we don't advocate going out there and committing acts of violence, man, because we don't need to do that. Yahawah is going to take this place down by violence, not us. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to destroy this place. Because how was America established? You see, they create these groups to talk about this anti-violence shit. See, it's okay for the so-called white man to commit violence, but when it's perpetrated on him, now it's it's a cardinal sin, man. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." And that bloody city is America. That golden city, that bloody city, that's America, man. How was it established? On violence. Okay. How was it taken away? By violence. But see, again, this devil, he could do it, but when it's perpetrated against him, now there's, oh, why? I don't understand. Why is it happening? Well, that's going to be the recompense of what you did to the Lord's people. And again, it ain't nothing of our hand. It's going to be the hand of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, "Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and it shall be found no more." Because when these nuclear missiles blow up in the atmosphere above this country and on this country, bro, that's violence, man. Them missiles are violent. Them missiles ain't coming in peace. Them missiles is coming to break this place into a million pieces, man, and turn it into the biggest desert on the planet Earth, man. So that word for violence in the Greek is harmama, or mama.
Strong's G 3731. Hadamema.
And it says
Hadamema.
that which is impelled or hurried away by impulse. So them missiles are going to impel this place, man. And again, you can't. It says an attack, i.e., precipitancy violence, man. Nuclear attack. That's what's going to happen. And you can't blame that on Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans. Okay, that's the hand of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So here it is. They're trying to make a movie and try to get Jake, because they know Jake watched these types of films and they want Jake to get into that spirit. And so they can push their agenda. You see, it's all about carnality. That's why they incite riots. They incite Jake to do stupid shit so they can come down with these draconian laws to forward their agenda. These movies, these Hollywood movies, these pictures, these shows, they do nothing but push an agenda. And again, you got to ask yourself, why now? The white man, the so-called, even if they put a black director, they get these black directors. I think the guy that did Black Panther is doing this movie. They get these so-called black directors, and they have you thinking that, like, yo, look, they're here for you. But they're not, man. They're not. This devil don't give a damn about your so-called liberation, man. He wants to keep you in slavery perpetually, man. There's Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate," right? Because all the destruction that America, this is Esau's capstone here, all right? They go across the world and they take over different nations and they infiltrate different nations and they take their resources, destroy their infrastructure, and then they bring in democracy and so-called peace policies and shit. They do these things, but nobody has ever done it to America. Well, when the Third World War happens, this place, she not going to be a virgin no more. Because really, America is one of the few places, if not the only superpower that hasn't been invaded. The last time a foreign nation came to this country, a so-called foreign nation came to this country, was the British. And it was really them fighting each other to establish this place as America. Okay? So it says, you're not going to be called tender and delicate no more. Take a millstone and grind mill. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover thy thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. All her sins, all her wickedness is going to be uncovered. Yeah. Thy shame shall be seen. The nation's going to see your shame. especially when this place is being destroyed, bombarded with over 200 million nuclear warheads. Hey, this shit's going to be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So our Messiah, Yahawashi, who is a so-called black man, he's coming back, but he's not meeting you as a man. He's not meeting you in this weak flesh like Fred Hampton got, like we got. He's coming back in his angelic form, and there's nothing you Edomites can do about it. You can make, and again, man, once again, this is them Edomites pushing that black shit on Jake. You got all this influence and power, but you won't make no movies that really resonate with our people. Like one with the one you ignorantly call Jesus. His name's Yahawashi, as a so-called black man. You ain't gonna push that. You're not gonna push that vibration that these nations that you call white today. I mean, these nations that you portray yourself as white in these movies were nations of color. You're not gonna put it because that's all about white supremacy, man. That's all about white supremacy. And even this whole Black Panther bullshit, hey, this shit fell because Yahawadah wasn't behind it. He said he saved the apostles for last, man. Not you damn Black Panther Party. What's the nigga name? Huey P. Newton or the other black dude, which they were clearly sellouts. They were clearly agents. And Jake fell for the scheme. And many Israelites that were sincere were thrown in prisons, never to be seen again, or put to death, like this dude, Fred Hampton. You see? So this is a little article. It says, preventing the rise of a Messiah, which Esau don't want Jake to have a Messiah. He don't want you to be saved. He don't want our people to be redeemed. He want to keep that perpetual hate going and keep us in servitude to him. It says the U.S. government's efforts to discredit Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders illustrate the lengths to which it will go to stifle left-wing movements. 40 years ago today, a bullet severed the spine of a man who many of the world over thought was a prince. And got rid of that nigga. We have all seen the picture of the hotel balcony where that prince stood. And that also show you that we're the princes of the earth, man. Ecclesiastes, real quick. Ecclesiastes, was it 10 and 6? You can start at 5, but 10 and 6, it says, I'll start at 7. I have seen servants upon horses, and a horse is a symbol of power. And who are them servants? These nations, starting off with Esau, Edom. They're the ones sitting in a power seat. And princes walking as servants upon the earth. So who are those princes that's walking as servants upon the earth? The Israelites, man. The Israelites. All right. So it says, where the prince stood and fell, surrounded by his entourage, all pointing presumably in the direction from which the bullet came, which all of them dudes, Ralph Abernathy, Jesse Jackson, and the rest of those dudes on that balcony, they sold that nigga out, man. Well, he was already a sellout anyway, but they double sold him out. It says one man was not standing, not pointing, but kneeling by Martin Luther King's body, presumably checking to see if or that he was dead. That man, Merrill McCaw, was an undercover police officer who had infiltrated King's circle. So you got infiltrators on all these levels, man. Especially now. How much more now? But again, those infiltrators, you're not going to prevail against Yahawadah. This is Jude 1 and 3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. For there are certain men crept in unawares, these infiltrators, creeping in unawares, who were before all ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men. And you got ungodly Israelites, man, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness and denying our only Lord power and our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach. You see? So you always got men that were either they might have been part of us and then they got disenchanted and they was like they angry, they got a chip on their shoulder, And then you got those guys like this. They got a guy in here, this movie, this guy right here, he's the infiltrator in the movie, Judah and the Black Messiah. Like there's a white Messiah. There's no white Messiah. Ain't no Chinese Messiah. Ain't no Arab Messiah. It's just Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's the Messiah for the Israelites, man. So, but they got this guy right here. You know, he clearly was a rat, an infiltrator, man. You know, who was working for the feds, man. You know, it says ungodly men. It said ungodly men turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness. Let's look at that word, lasciviousness. Okay. The Greek word there is
Strong's G 766. As-elgaya. As-elgaya.
and it says filthy, wantonness, unbridled lust, excess, lasciviousness, wantonness, outrageousness, shamelessness, insolence. And that's, you got these half-baked Israelite leaders like Nate, you know, Bubble Eye Blackfish, Johanna, the same way. That basically they're greedy and they're just worried about themselves. They ain't worried about the people, the Lord's people, the elect, you know. And in this movie show you how here it is, this dude, he's supposed to be this nigga friend, and he actually looked like this dude, Fred Hampton, right here. Hold on. He's in the car laughing. He kind of looked like Fred Hampton right there, man. You know, he had called the demon up, put a spirit on him to make him act like that. But the point of the matter is, here it is. You got, they show Jake looking all mean and shit. And the nigga with the kufi on his head and the oatmeal, you know, giving out the food programs and shit. And that's what a lot of these other Israelite groups are doing. They try to mimic what the Black Panther did, create a food program. We're not creating a food program down here, bro. We just giving you the truth, man. You know? But they try to make Jake, you know, here it is, our people been through all kinds of hell. And Jake want freedom, redemption, and they seeking it these different ways. And one of those ways was via this Black Panther shit, you know? And ultimately, he got put to death, man. But again, why is Esau trying to create it? And Esau's always in the mix, man. The devil is always in the midst, man. You got to watch out for that dude. Real quick, this is Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1. It says, hold on. It might be 2. Oh, no, here it is right here. Job 1 and 6. It says, now there was a day when the sons of the power came to present themselves before the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and Satan came also among them, right? Because Satan is a son of the Most High on the left-hand side. But look at Esau. He's amongst these Israelites, and he's looking at the rat. He's looking at the infiltrator like, hey, man, you know what to do. We see you. You know what I mean? And that's what this devil does, man. You know, he infiltrates you and tries to take it down from the inside. And if he can't do that, he's going to do other things, man. This is St. Matthew chapter 16, verse 17. And Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. All right, which these leaders of this place, they're not going to prevail against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're not going to do that. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to prevail, you know? So I just wanted to bring this out. I hope it was edifying. Not sure when this movie comes out, but, you know, this is nothing more but Esau's trickery. You know, oh, it's supposed to be coming out in theaters in 2021, you know? So, yeah, I just want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakadash. I say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word and truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Hey, shalom.